Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your Windy City Savage back at the Windy City Studios production. You already know who I am. Co-host, introduce yourself.
It's been a long time since I was able to say this, but it's me, the Pointed Man SG3. How y'all doing tonight, man?
Alrighty, and with that, let's get into the news. And that is this, my guys. Pat McAfee returns. And what a
Hooray.
shocker. The issue with this is that look, we know that last week's SmackDown was one of the highest SmackDown ratings in quite a while. It did bring viewerships up, and I'll give them credit when credit's due. At the same time, let's not deny this, but the real reason it brought viewerships up is because we were supposed to have the reveal of who was Randy Orton was talking about. So we all tuned in, we all got excited, and we all got let down, and let down hard it is. And what worse was we follow up with that segment with this week's segment with Randy, Cody, Jelly Roll, and Pat McAfee all involved in the worst fucking segment I've seen in SmackDown in quite a while. And the only one I could tell that was probably sort of excited to see Jelly Roll was my man SG3.
Yeah, man, there's a great country singer.
Anyways, so the point is this: look, we did get Pat McAfee coming out. We got Jelly Roll getting attacked by Randy Orton.
The
Pat
drag
is
down,
back.
and then dragged outside.
Yo, drag outside. I mean, it is what it is. But we did get a promo segment cut from Pat McAfee, and he did address CM Punk. He did address a lot of the things that CM Punk did say about him, but also Pat McAfee's making himself to seem like he's the savior of WWE right now, to the point where he teamed up with, I forgot what fucking company. I think it's his own company or something, where they are now giving 25% off for Saturday night one WrestleMania ticket. I'm not clapping for that bullshit, by the way. The reason why I say that is because this segment did not make any sense. If this is the reason why you brought Pat McAfee back to be the pretend savior, it doesn't make any sense. And the reality is this: is that they realized they screwed up. They were nowhere near the tickets they sold last year of night one's Vegas WrestleMania or night two, and now they're trying to add this onto a segment quietly. That way they could get fans excited. But instead, I don't think anybody was cheering.
No.
I don't think anybody was excited. If anything, I remember hearing "Go home, Pat," and that's well deserved. Get the hell this man out of here. Nobody's excited to see him. I wasn't excited last week, not even one bit. Does not make sense to add him in this whole segment. So what is the point? By the way, quick shout out to Wyatt.
Yo, my guys, how are you? What's going on, brother? How you doing?
How do you like SmackDown tonight? Let us know, Wyatt. Because honestly, I just did not like the SmackDown tonight. I thought it was really, really dull. I mean, hell, like even the Trick versus Sami Zayn segment just felt so flat. And I feel like the fans lost very much investment in Sami Zayn. And this whole little Yachty, this whole little Yachty thing, introduction of little Yachty to Trick Williams as his mouthpiece, I guess. It's horrible. It's trash. I mean, like, what did little Yachty ever do? One song, and now all of a sudden he's a big celebrity. I get it. He's a wrestling fan. I believe that. I do believe him because I know he had a little backlash with some fans and how he said, they said guys who never had a thing to do with wrestling, and he proved himself that he is a wrestling fan. I dead ass believe that he is a big wrestling fan. Qualified to join a segment with actual wrestlers, And did that make me qualify to get in that ring, cut a segment for Trick Williams?
Heck yeah, it does. Oh.
Anyways, so the point is this: look, this whole segment itself felt cringe. It felt really bad. I just did not like it. I really don't like this whole overdose of celebrities usage coming to Mania. I get it. Every year we have celebrities entering Mania, but this year it just seems like there's so much of it. It's getting so ridiculous. What is it? Let's see. Ice Speed. I like Ice Speed. I think he's the only exception because I feel like his character fits well. And I feel like he's going to surprise us all during the tag match. That I could stand by. Jelly Roll, I like him. But honestly, his whole character's getting stale. I just don't see the appeal of him anymore.
No,
and it's just not working out with them anymore. Little Yachty,
no.
fuck off. Just get them. Just get this man out of here. Who else am I missing?
Pat
All right,
McAfee? No.
Pat McAfee. I'm sorry, bro. Stick to announcing because you're not it, and especially for a especially for a sad segment tonight for Randy's Orton night. Was it night one? Yes, night
Yeah.
one's main event. Look, if Pat McAfee's your guy that you've been talking on the phone, if this is the big like surprise, if this is really it, and WWE's not going to swerve us and give us someone else that was really the guy that he was talking to, then this was just bogus. This was just sad. We need a lot more character development because this whole build up for WrestleMania just felt so dull, so
Lackluster.
lackluster, so boring. It's ridiculous. Take Rhea versus Jade Cargill.
Terrible.
There's nothing appealing, and I can't believe they had Io Sky lose clean to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Io Sky was a champion last year, and she lost clean tonight to Jade Cargill.
I don't know if you noticed, but both champions that were in last year, they're actually not a part of WrestleMania.
Fortunately, well, here's the issue.
Stephanie's not a part of WrestleMania, neither is Io Sky.
Well, here's the issue. Put it this way. Here's the issue with that. Due to the Bellas being injured, we do need to add a fourth team into that whole tag match. Well, this is what WWE wants. I say just go with the triple threat. But obviously, it's what they want, they get. So the thing is, they're gonna have the Kabuki Warriors join in last minute if Nikki Bella can't get cleared from her knee injury. So that's why they haven't really pulled the trigger with Asuka and Io yet. You notice they did cut a promo. Asuka did cut a promo on Io, but yet we haven't got an official announcement. We haven't had a move to really solidify. So if Nikki can't get cleared off by then, we're gonna have the Kabuki Warriors join in at WrestleMania on that fatal four-way tag match. And at that point, we're having Io on the background character to help out Rhea Ripley. How sad the mighty has fallen.
Literally. A couple more comments. It was shit. Wyatt. It was shit. Thank God I didn't stream and I'm gone out of town in the mountains for memorial service tomorrow.
All the way to the mountains. Nice.
Okay.
Congrats, bro.
My honey and
Oh wait, memorial service.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought it was something else. Man.
No, I probably read it wrong, and I apologize for my lips, but my accent's still getting over certain things. But at this point, though, Wyatt, I'm sorry that you're going through this loss.
I'm sorry, bro.
Definitely, if you reach out to us, bro, we got your back. My honey, Analia Azul, 11. Hey guys, hey baby. Mwah. All right, let's keep going.
All righty. So, all right, let's keep it going.
I don't like it though. I don't like it. I'm telling you honestly, I don't like it. I like the fact that like last year you had Tiffany and EOB like defending champions that were great, and then all of a sudden now this year they're just forgotten about.
Well, that and the whole Pat McAfee getting inserted, I thought Orton and Cody had the potential to be the hottest main event.
They did. The moment that Orton turned, it was super great. Like you didn't have to add Jelly Roll. I get he was in there in the moment, but you didn't have to keep adding him week after week after week after week. And WWE's obsession for like star-studded main events is costing them like fans.
Well, if I'm being honest, I do remember I was kind of iffy about him turning quickly, and I felt like they could have waited a little bit longer, like could have waited another week. But regardless, I felt like it was picking up steam, and the second week it picked up steam, but then it started falling flat, and now we're down back to flatness beyond the grave. So I don't know. We're just gonna head to at this point, but I'm not looking forward to next week's Mania card just because I feel like it's lackluster. Excitement, yes, being there live, but in reality, everything feels so dull, so boring for a company that built on creating storylines.
I didn't do it this year.
Not at all. Not even you can't name besides Oba and Brock, where I actually feel like Brock's gonna win.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, everything's kind of like if you look at the signs, I really do think Brock is running away with the clean win at WrestleMania, unfortunately. But besides that one that's getting me excited, can you name me another match that I'm excited for? Punk and Roman, yes, it's excitement, but honestly, the fact that Oba and Brock for a non-title match is actually picking up more steam than Punk and Roman is kind of sad. It really is. And that might actually be your first match of night 2.
It is because it's in the first hour.
Well, that and Brock Lesnar does not want to be at all in the middle of the card, and I highly doubt he wants to be during the end, the main
or
event.
the beginning.
Yeah, I honestly say this match should be a main event scene.
It is,
but he's not going to be in the end because he wants to get out and go back home quick as possible. He wants to hop in that jet and fly his ass to whatever he's
whatever part of Minnesota he's from.
Yeah, no, he's not. He doesn't live in Minnesota.
Yeah,
he lives
right.
in another country at this point. But yeah, he's like away from everything. He's just in the country land, which he's happy about. Alrighty, and Wyatt does say the ladder match. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. The ladder match is pretty good. Actually, that one probably is going to be a banger. Honestly, one of those matches just close out WrestleMania. It's so lackluster at this point. Close out in a high note instead of probably a downfall of a night. I mean, unless you give us a big surprise ending.
For both of them, though, I highly doubt they're going to do it.
I don't know. I don't hold my breath too long, but
I don't hold my breath at all.
Yeah, we'll see. Honestly,
because you have to do for both Roman and Punk, and then also for Orton versus Cody. It's not going to happen. They'll probably do it for one, but not for the other one. And I don't know if you know this, but they've actually said that the total number is 71,000 tickets already sold. However, they're doing math. A lot of those tickets are 2 nights. There's more people for night 2 than there is night 1. So you're looking at around 20-something thousand people average for both nights.
Well, what you said, 70 but combined?
70 combined, yeah.
So that would be 35 and 40.
That's why. But I'm saying they're making it seem like they're hyping it up. And I was like, nah, I think you guys are actually having a lot less than what you guys are thinking right now.
Well, I don't think they announced it WWE. I think it's other sites, which I think is correct actually. But I think last year there were about 45 to 50. So they're not even getting close to the numbers that they're
down 18% from last month.
And
from last year.
The point that they're cutting down sales and giving out sales and stuff is just pathetic in a way that they admit that they can't sell out tickets. And it's kind of sucks for the people that actually paid full price for those tickets. I feel bad for them.
I feel bad for them too.
Yeah. It's sad because in the end, it's like WWE's telling you, well, we don't give a fuck. We're not going to reimburse you guys. You guys are the idiots that loyalists that are willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to go to these events. I mean,
the green shirt guy, I can see him because he lives a life of luxury. He gets a VIP treatment all the time he goes. But it's like, dude, everyone else, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's just the reality of the state of wrestling for WWE. It's high pricing the fans, and like I said before, after this Mania, I am done going to live events because it's getting ridiculous. These pricings.
Supposedly, actually, in the summertime, they said they're going to bring back down prices.
Well, they said that only depending on locations, and what that means is this: is if the city doesn't sell out for WWE, it's not hot for wrestling. They'll lower down ticket prices to bring those people in. So when they went to Oregon not too long ago, or was it Seattle? Yeah, Seattle, where they didn't sell out, they lowered down prices in order to get them in. So that's the only exception. If the city doesn't sell well, let's say, I don't know, going somewhere in, I don't know, New England. If it doesn't sell well, they'll lower down the prices. But let's say they're going to LA.
Chicago.
LA, good luck. You're going to pay full price. So the point is, hot cities, you're paying full price. Cities that are not as popular for wrestling, you might get a little discount. A little discount. It doesn't mean we're going back to old times. I highly doubt it. Expect like a 20% discount if you're lucky. So, like I said, I wouldn't hold my breath. I highly doubt TKO is going to go back at this point. They're making a lot of money, and they're going to milk this as long as they can, and then we'll see how this goes in the future. Anything else you want to talk about for going into Mania? Pat McAfee. Obviously he did cut a promo on Punk. I thought the whole thing was cringe. I thought it was bad. If this is your follow-up between Punk's pipe bomb 3.0, it was just horrible. I consider it 3.0 because the one was when he first cut his famous pipe bomb.
Yeah.
The second one to me
was the AEW one.
The all-out brawl, which was during the press conference. That I consider was a pipe bomb. And then the third one is this one last Monday. And then tonight, I just thought this whole Pat McAfee
I call it the flop bomb.
Yeah. I like Pat McAfee as an announcer. I like Pat McAfee as a podcaster. I do not like Pat McAfee as a character, especially when he's trying to play a heel. I mean, it just doesn't.
It's funny because that's actually how he started on NXT. He actually was a heel for a little bit,
and he was okay. I didn't even like him then. I'll be real. I didn't really like him then. I thought he was okay for what he does, but I thought he was just better as a podcaster and as an announcer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't like to see this guy on TV. It's kind of cringeworthy sometimes. It's because it's okay. To put it this way, it's because look at his promo last week. Look at his promo now. He's basically saying that this fucking product is trash. So he's telling you that the product you're watching is trash. How is this supposed to help this storyline? Because in the end of the day, you're basically saying, yes, our product sucks. So here's a little discount so you can come and watch it for us. Thank me later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. It's just bad business, bad look. Who wants, as a fan, who wants to go even for a discount if you basically admitted that the fucking product sucks right now?
Kids.
Yeah, but even then, I'm saying, like, who actually wants to go? Who pays for those kids?
Their parents, yeah.
Their parents are going to get invested in WrestleMania. Why would they want to go? Instead, if they could pay $29.99 on ESPN, it'll be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, you had to get the whole thing invested. You're just admitted that your fucking product sucks. It's not worth going.
Especially during the hottest time.
Yeah, I don't know about the hottest time. I think they're done with the hottest time.
No. What I'm saying, like, this is like quote unquote the hottest
time,
like
the season.
Playoffs. Yeah, the season. Sorry, hottest season.
Yeah, your grand stage of them all. It's just bad. It really is. And that's their fault for running it back. Another issue, and this is a rumor, but I think it might be true, that WWE is actually going to start setting up the stage April 13th. And that's this Monday. And they're expected to be finished by Friday in the Legion Stadium for WrestleMania 42. Now, that being said, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be a lot more plainer and a little less designs than last year. So instead of giving us this all-out design or crazy stuff, we're going to get a little bit more plain, boring side of WrestleMania, because I guess they just can't. So I guess with the concerts going on and stuff, they don't want to do too much because I guess they had like Bruno Mars playing right after they're done. And they don't want to really invest too much into it because of the cleanup and stuff. But that's just sad. Or this could be another prediction. They recycle the old set from last year. And they just add a few different LEDs, like the ones that fit the theme. Because if you look at last year's theme, was very colorful. This year theme is sort of that like silver gray dark tone type of WrestleMania. Because if you look at their new belts, they had one that was all out. I think it was like gold theme belt, but this year it's a silver dark gray, and that's probably going to be the theme. They're probably going to recycle the old set and throw that out there as a quick, all right, let's just hurry up and do this real quick, which is sad, man. It's like at this point, they're not really showing us that they really care about this year's Mania, and they're waiting for this one to pass so they could go on to next year's Mania in maybe Saudi Arabia if things play out well.
Maybe, because I've been hearing that they're probably going to bring it to Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, I don't know. Like, rumors are rumors, man. I see it to believe it. So regardless, the point is this. They're already looking past this Mania, which is just sad, and just giving us, look, the card itself. If we look at the card, everything looks good. But the thing is, the whole storyline looks horrible. And when you go into WrestleMania, the one thing you get invested is this
storylines.
This is the point where all these wrestlers finally end the beef.
Yeah.
Finally squash it and finally get rid of the hottest storylines of the year. We really don't have too many of those.
We don't.
Another comment from Wyatt.
Another graphic is desert climate and like fire climate.
Okay. I mean, I can see it. Might as well put some cactus too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, you could be really creative with these WrestleMania themes. The issue is WWE doesn't want to shell out any more money for it. So let's put it this way, Wyatt. It's like, you know, when I'm playing WWE 2K26 and it's not glitching, and then we get to see some of the old school arenas, and I do mention how creative they were, how graphical, how things popped out, how they looked amazing. And now we look so dull. It's like you go to fast food, and back then it was so colorful, the store, but now it's so dull and gray. it's ridiculous. It's like, times have changed and WWE has changed with the time. It's becoming dull. It's becoming gray. It's just becoming so basically boring. Yeah. And that's what the product is at this point. And I don't know. I honestly did not feel like the fans were invested either tonight. I feel like
No.
they were kind of quiet throughout the whole night. I mean, they did pop for certain segments, but I just feel like they were pretty quiet.
Mhm.
They're like already zoned out at this point. And imagine going into
The
next
hottest
week.
show.
Yeah. Going into Monday and then Friday running their first show with SmackDown in Vegas.
Then to run it back for Raw. That's the one that I'm like,
yeah.
That's the one where I'm kind of cringe because I mean, dude, the Raw after WrestleMania is supposed to be the hottest Raw the whole year. That's the one all the fans are excited for. The returns, the surprises, the crowd is just unhinged. This year, I feel like it's not even going to be half of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're right about that. But look, put it this way, man. I don't know what's gonna happen next week, but as we get closer, I think things are gonna basically play out hopefully a little bit better. I'm gonna be optimistic, but I'm actually not gonna hold my breath either.
Neither am I.
Yeah. Let's see the comment that Wyatt puts out before we get going. Those are the graphics that they have been already showing weekly. Well, yeah, but you not notice that they've been changing the graphics up constantly throughout the weeks, like the commercials and stuff. They keep showing different type of graphics. If we could show you the type that I'm thinking is going to happen, I really think it's going to be a gray, black type of design. Because look at the new belt that they released. I think it's like $1,000. So it's basically the undisputed champion, and it's their WrestleMania theme. They do this every year for forever, wherever they go. And this is all gray, silver, dark belt. And I feel like that's the theme going in. So if we're going off the belt itself, I think that's it. Last year's was based on the design of the stage, sort of. So it kind of gives you an idea, of this year's WrestleMania.
I feel like they're really trying to cater to the Raiders fans. That's the Raiders colors, silver and gold. It's gonna be silver and black.
Well, Tom Brady's supposed to be
that's why
another.
Oh yeah, fucking forgot Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's supposed to get in there. Look, like I said, I like celebrities, but too much celebrities is excessive, and we don't really need it. And we need some good storylines.
So much good storylines. Hold on, I got a quick storyline for myself. Hey Wyatt, how come Peyton Manning's never been in WrestleMania? Keep going.
Why you gotta start the man, bro? Then you go defending him, and then afterwards you played the Judas and no Chris Jericho on
Judas on my mind.
So anyways, the point is this. Look, I don't know. As we get closer, let's just see what this Monday Night Raw is before we get to Vegas. I'm gonna be excited because the young fan in me wants to get excited, wants to get optimistic. Let's go WWE. Close it out before we start heading your first show at Vegas with SmackDown. And even then, that SmackDown is usually dull too. It's just because you're waiting to really get into WrestleMania. Wyatt, bro, I thought you
were on my side. Damn it, I'm an advocate, man. I go all over the place.
Like I tell you, man, he's a Judas. And there ain't no Chris Jericho on that.
Judas on my mind, brother.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, he's just all over the fucking place. So yeah, man. All right, let's put it this. Quickly into AEW's Dynasty card,
which is this Sunday. April
predictions. Because I gotta pack up for Vegas. If I have enough time, I might jump on it a little bit later, or maybe I'll do the whole thing. I don't know. It's the thing is, if this was like a WWE pay-per-view, I'll be on it right away because it's like 2 or 3 hours. Unfortunately, AEW does about 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. And look, I love wrestling and I'll watch it, but as live streaming, that's a lot of work.
It is.
But I'll try my best. I'll try my best to get on there, at least to catch the last 2 to 3 hours, because I'm not gonna probably watch the whole 5 or 6. But regardless, let's get into the. Oh, what did anyone else comment?
Yeah, why I commented? What the hell, man? LOL.
What the hell's wrong with you, man? You haven't got in the game. When's your birthday again? I know his birthday's coming up.
Yeah, so. His birthday's coming up. I mean, again, I had to ask because you hadn't said much, so I just Decided to try you up. Gotta light a fire. Why not?
So actually, Wyatt, if you look into the game, I saw someone post that it's on sale. Not a lot, but it's already discounted a little bit for the WCW Monday Night Wars edition. I think it was like 149 originally, and I saw it cut down to 124 already.
Damn.
So, it's not a lot though. It's only $24.
But I mean, think about it, it's only been a month.
I mean, that's usually the case because people get the FOMO, they buy, and then eventually they cut it down. They do it for a lot of games. Yeah, that's why it's not good to play, to pay for it. If it wasn't for me trying to get you content out there quickly, I would have not bought it right away. I never buy these games when they launch, but the last 3 years is because I want to give you guys a review of it. And we already seen the reviews. Some of the stuff is funny, but regardless, the point is, yeah, Wyatt, he says this Wednesday. All right.
Hey.
Well, there you go, man. I'll wish you a happy birthday. And
I wish happy birthday too, brother.
Unfortunately, Wyatt, I'm going to be out of town and I am not bringing my big ass PlayStation. So we're not going to play until the following week afterwards when I come back. So we'll see, though. We'll see.
I can't wait to be commentated with Ryan. That's gonna be
How
awesome.
about you shut the fuck up and let me talk? There you go.
No,
all right,
Judas. You fucking talk anyway.
Judas. Well, shit. Yeah, I know. We'll get it done, man. We'll figure it out. Once I come back from Vegas, yeah, we'll figure some shit out. I got to get back into that gaming content and finish CM Punk showcase mode, and then eventually get to my rice, and other stuff as well, But we'll have fun. All right, let's get into some of these matches. First match,
fucking time.
Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir in a singles match. Who do you have, SG3, and why?
Marina Shafir, because she's basically right now the hottest thing because of Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, but Ronda Rousey's not coming back.
No, but she's still because of friends.
I think it's more because of the Death Rider angle. It's still hot. It's still the heelish thing. I could see that. So I'm gonna go with Marina Shafir on this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that one. FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood with Stokely versus Cope and Cage. I like the way they put CNC. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. And this is for the tag team titles. And who do you have?
For nostalgia purposes, Cope and Cage.
Unfortunately, I think they're going to win. And I don't want to see that. I felt like the Young Bucks should have won last month and then face off Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. And that would have made it more interesting. But I get it. They're trying to finish the storyline. So I do see Adam and Cope regaining actually winning those titles first time as a tag team. I did like Christian Cage's segment on Dynamite and how he mentions I had to visit FTR's mothers.
Yep.
And as mothers means I banged both of them. I'm like, yeah, look, I like the way he is. I like that he's not the old Christian goofy gimmick. I like this version. Just because he's older, he's different. Look, we all like nostalgia, but reality is sometimes that doesn't work. And I think Christian knows that. Christian's a smart guy.
He's very smart. I mean, look at him when he was with TNA.
He was in TNA. He made a name himself. He even named himself in every promotion.
Minus one.
Yeah, regardless, WWE, he did make a name himself.
I just feel like when he came back, before when he was actually doing it with long hair, he was actually doing something with the peeps, came out, he did it. But then later on, he just became a laughingstock.
I wouldn't say laughingstock because fans were invested. He did win the world title.
He did.
And
I thought he won the ECW one.
No, he did win the world heavyweight title for a day. For a day, he beat Randy, but then Randy beat him back. Regardless, though, he did got that as an accomplishment. He did have a lot of fans backing him up. Unfortunately, Vince did not see the potential in Christian that other companies and other people have seen, especially us fans. I think between him and Adam Copeland, I think Christian is the better of the two. In my personal opinion, he's more charismatic. He's a better wrestler. And I feel like he puts himself more relevant throughout the years compared to Adam Copeland. But that's just me. Because everything he's been doing, every direction he goes,
it hits.
It's funny. So, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. And anyone else wants to debate that? Hey, go ahead. Wyatt says
Cope and Cage and Marina.
Okay, there we go, Wyatt. Next one, favorite. I think this is going to be good. Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay for the AEW Continental Championship. That's a tough one, SG3. Who do you have? Because I could say the new and improved Will Ospreay, but Jon Moxley always picks up the win, man. He's like basically the Roman Reigns of AEW.
Hogan of AEW too.
The Hogan, whatever you want to call it. I honestly feel like Takeshita should have beat his ass for that championship, but it did not happen. So this is why it's hard to pick, because when you think that John Mox is gonna lose, he wins.
I think he's gonna win. He loses.
Who do you have?
Wyatt said to give him Osprey, but we'll go ahead and give him Moxley. Just kidding.
So we got Osprey for Wyatt.
Give me Moxley.
All right, so you pick Moxley, and I'm just gonna go for Osprey.
Hey, listen, the fandom in me wants to say Osprey because I actually am a huge Will Osprey fan. However, though, it's just
Moxley always wins.
Yeah,
it's hard. I'm not even 100% on Will Osprey, but yeah, just fuck it. Just because I like to go against you, Will Osprey. Fuck it. Alrighty, number 4 match, and this is not in order, but it could be. Who knows? Andrade El Idolo with Don Callis, of course, against Darby Allin with a stipulation is this: if Allin wins, he will receive a future AEW World Championship match. I like Andrade. I think Andrade has a good look. Andrade has the appeal. Andrade is getting really over with the fans, especially the whole taking off the pants part and then taking pictures and selfies with like all these fangirls, these plants, really. But he's getting over. I think he's getting over. And honestly, I feel like WWE dropped the ball with Andrade. I think he had a really big potential to be the next superstar of WWE. I get it. The English is not good, but pair him up with a good manager like Don Callis, and you could do wonders for this guy. And I mean, he has the fucking look. He looks like a fucking superstar, in my opinion. He looks like if you model a good fucking wrestler, Andrade is the guy, and his movesets are on point. I'm just gonna go with Darby because MJF does need a face to face off for the next PLE, which would be Double or Nothing if I'm correct. So I do think Darby Allin wins, but I also feel that's a wrong direction. I feel like Andrade should pick up the wins, but at the same time, I'm going with Darby Allin on this one.
I'm going with Darby.
Wyatt goes Darby as well.
Me, you, and Wyatt have Darby.
For all 3 for Darby. Okay. Tekla versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship. This is an interesting one. A few years back, Jamie Hayter was on top of the world with that title run when she was champion, and she had a hell of a run until she got injured and just never really got back into that title scene. And I'm surprised she has a title match finally against Tekla, who's really hot right now. And I think they signed her, if I'm correct, they signed her for an extension. So she already had a contract for a set amount of years, but AEW was so impressed that they signed her for 3 more years added to that contract. So she's getting paid some beautiful money. And with that being said, I'm gonna go with my girl Tekla.
Yeah.
Because with that additional contract, they have high expectations for her.
They do.
And I think she's gonna win. And I feel just sorry for Jamie, but one day she'll be back into that title scene once again. Tekla will win with Wyatt, and I'm guessing you're going with Tekla.
Yeah, I'm going with Tekla.
Oh, wait. Alrighty. So we got
the Casino Gauntlet match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship.
And we'll just leave that as that, because we're gonna add all the participant in there, and maybe when we're live streaming it, we could all just say it then. So we're just gonna leave that one on that one because we don't know who the fuck we're gonna get into that mix up yet. Alrighty, the next one would be the Young Bucks versus the Don Callis family with Okada and Takeshita with Don Callis. So we already know who the Young Bucks are. Tag team match. Who do you got on this?
Only because they're my guy, Super Kick Fiesta, the Young Bucks.
I'm gonna go with Okada and Takeshita.
I guess yeah, don't have any too.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Let me go with the Young Bucks. What am I even saying? I feel like they're gonna fight off, and this is gonna be the breakup. This is already gonna lead to the breakup of Takeshita against the Don Callis family, because it's already happening. I can already tell the seed's been there for quite a while, but this is gonna basically set it off and end this whole thing with Okada, and they're gonna go off, and eventually they're gonna get Takeshi's gonna get kicked out of the Don Callis family. So I'm gonna go with that. Let's go with the Young Bucks, all 3. All righty, and then we got the return of the list, and Chris Jericho is back. And guys, I'm telling you, he's not leaving AEW for WWE Even if he does, it'll be for a Hall of Fame. It's not going to be another match because I heard this man's already signed an extension. There's reports that he's signed a new contract with AEW, and I believe it. I really do. Yeah, I don't think he wants to go back to WWE, and I don't blame him, dude. There's just nothing there for him just to get squashed to Gunther. Look, we all want to see WWE get saved by Jericho
again,
but at the same time, we're gonna get bored of him there too. If you're getting bored of him in AEW, you're gonna get bored of him in WWE. There's no difference. There really isn't. But so far, I like this Jericho. He's fit.
He really is fit. The holy hell, I saw him. Holy hell!
When you're away for so long, I hope you get fit. Jericho's always done that. You notice that he'll get fat eventually, go away, come back fit as ever, and then get fat and go away. Look, if it works for this man, fuck it. You know, he's old. He's a legend in my eyes.
Dude, for me, he's top 5 of all time.
I can see that. I do not debate that. But I think he deserves this, and we're gonna get Chris Jericho versus Ricochet in the singles match. I'm gonna go with Jericho. I just think that Jericho's gonna win this one, and it makes sense. Hot return, might as well bring him out and go over Ricochet.
It's also in Canada.
That and also with Ricochet's issues with this whole tweet thing not too long ago, I feel like this is his punishment at this point. Give me Chris, Wyatt says. Alrighty. So we got another 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So MJF versus Kenny Omega is the last match of the night for the AEW World Championship. Alrighty, SG3, who do you have on this one? Who walks out with that beautiful, marvelous belt tonight? Which would be Sunday.
Literally.
Today, as you think.
My heart and my fandom says Kenny Omega, but it's gonna be MJF.
It's gonna be MJF too. I predict the scumbag MJF just because I don't think this title run should end now.
No.
I love Kenny Omega. I do think he should have a title run.
Should.
Before he calls it quits, because I don't think he has that much years left in wrestling, unfortunately, with all the medical issues. But I feel like MJF is on the hottest run. And anytime MJF has the title, anytime he's on TV consistently, anytime he cuts a promo, I think that's the best thing that AEW has going for it right now. He's one of the top, I think he's one of the most famous wrestlers next to Jericho, next to Moxley. And honestly, it's debatable. It could be even more popular than all of those guys. Why it says MJF because I'm better than you and you know it, baby. Well, there's no Adam Cole here, so I don't know. We'll see. How about any surprises? You think MJF wins clean?
Nah.
Well, he did beat Hangman clean.
He did. I mean, kind of clean enough. I mean, it was a Texas Death match.
I don't know. I think he beats him clean. I really do think that they're gonna have this MJF on a roll, and he beats Kenny Omega clean.
I can see it, though. And that will really add a lot to his title run and to his legacy. I can see it.
So I'm gonna go with MJF. I think this is a version that's the strongest version that we're gonna see of him. This is gonna be his peak year, maybe next year too. But this to me seems like his peak year so far.
I can see it.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for this whole card. We might live stream it, we might not. But we'll see. We'll see, honestly. Let's see how the weekend goes. Okay, so let's talk about some serious stuff. So we saw the segment. Stephanie Vacquer, Roxanne, and Liv Morgan. We saw Liv Morgan talk to Roxanne, and it looks like we're gonna get to the point was, hey, what is your relationship with Finn Balor? But before we could speak, came from behind, pushed Liv, basically shoved Liv into Roxanne. They both headbutted each other.
Yep.
And if you could actually go back to that segment, you could hear the cluck really loud. And then later on, it was confirmed that Liv Morgan did get a bump right here, a nasty bump.
Nasty one.
And Roxanne and her actually are in the concussion protocol.
Yeah.
And there are concerns that she won't make it to Mania. But now reports are saying that it looks like they're optimistic that she's actually going to be making it to Mania in time to face off Stephanie Vacquer. Now, here's my thing. Do you think that's the right call? Concussions in general should be taken serious. And I get it, they could protect her well. But the issue is you could also suffer another one. Now, look, I don't like to bring other sports.
Football.
But take football, for instance. You get a concussion, you're out about almost 2 weeks.
You are out 2 weeks. It's not almost. You are out for 2 weeks.
Well, I've seen some instance where it didn't
It just
happen.
depends on severity, but if it's a concussion, like if they can really prove it's a concussion, it's 2 weeks.
Well, we don't know also the severity of this concussion from Liv Morgan, but I don't know. I feel like at this point you're risking too much. I mean, if that was the case, and let's just say out of nowhere, it's not Liv Morgan going in there. Roxanne obviously is not going to go in there either. Raquel Rodriguez go in there and face off Stephanie. And it looks like Liv Morgan's going to go over. So that means Raquel has to go over Stephanie Becker. I don't have an issue with that. I actually think it's a better storyline there.
It is.
And she could win the title. Liv could be happy for her, but they could also be an ultimate betrayer where Roxanne and Liv team up to beat up Raquel and go after her title scene. Overall, I don't know, man. But at the same time, if they rush this and something bad comes about it later on, I feel like WWE should be held at
100% accountable,
and they should do a lot better job with this whole concussion protocol. Because I mean, sometimes you just got to take things a little bit serious. But look, you seen that picture of Liv Morgan?
Yeah,
that was a nasty bump.
Nasty. Super nasty. And heck, the one you didn't see that was Roxanne, where Roxanne was like, "I'm alive, guys. I'm good."
What was her bump? Was it bad?
She didn't show the bump. She just showed like a ice pack on her forehead.
Honestly, she leaves for a while and comes back, and now she's gonna be gone once again.
Again, she's hurt. Yeah.
Just in time for Mania, basically, in time for the segment. So okay, so I don't know if you guys heard, but and only mention this because this is just close to our area, and just for shits and giggles, we'll mention it. But it kind of was a serious topic.
It was
a couple of weeks ago. So I think it was, I forgot what promotion, but I don't know if you guys saw it out there. There was a video going viral about a death match going on in Berwyn Eagles Club, and to the point where it looked like, I guess, one of the fans stabbed the wrestler. And then eventually all these wrestlers went after that fan and started beating them up, and they got it on camera. I've been to this area before. Without even mentioning it, what spot it was, I'm like, I recognize that place. But that's not the point. The point is, so they said that someone got stabbed. One of the wrestlers got stabbed by a fan. Alrighty, this went viral. This made headlines. This got a lot of reaction. We come to find out it was fake. It was planted, and no one actually got stabbed. It was part of a segment. But it did get a lot of bad publicity on the event spot that was holding it. So unfortunately, as of today, or actually as of yesterday, did announce that Berwyn's Evil Club is no longer going to hold any wrestling promotion at all. They're done with that. So I guess they're going to have one last match on April 21 or April 20th, or sorry, April 24th. Forgive me. One last match, one last hurrah, and their 20 plus year stint is all come to an end. And why do I say this? Is because Russians that will run through their events there. I've seen it. I've been there. I've seen wrestlers like Moose, wrestlers like Santana, a lot of fucking wrestlers make their way into that arena. Small arena, but it has history, 20 plus years. And one little stupid incident like this, just to get a viral attention, but also put bad publicity on this arena, screwed up everything for everyone. And now there's a lot of people sad, including myself. A lot of wrestlers even put out testimonials saying, I'm sad that this happened, but it happens. It is what it is. But I'm going to miss Berwyn's Eagles Club. To me, is this. For any promotion thinking about doing some stupid shit like this and not realizing that you're going to ruin it for the next person, you did, basically. That's what happened. You said you ruined it for everyone else just because some viral incident that everyone wants to have these days is, I want the viral moment. I want to go viral. I'm going to pretend to stab someone, and let's just go throughout the internet. And guess what? It went bad for them because obviously that the club itself does want nothing to do with wrestling anymore because of this bad incident.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold one final hurrah and then call it quits. Unfortunately, 20 plus years, man.
Do you see it coming back? No, I'm not saying right away, but do you see it coming back?
Could be another 10 years.
I can see that.
Once we're old as shit. Yeah. What does Wyatt say here?
No,
not Wyatt. Sorry. Frank Flames forever.
I thought Randy was calling The Rock.
Okay, so Frank, what if this is all basically a setup? What if it's not really Pat McAfee? What if he's a distraction? What if it's The Rock on the other line? What if it's, I don't know, somebody
Cowboy
else?
Bob Orton.
I don't think he's gonna be there though. I think he's just too old. That man could barely walk though. I want to see Bob Orton, but think about it. How old is he?
That's true.
What if we just get somebody else, man? Someone connected. What if we get a William Regal? William Regal has history. His son's in NXT. All right. And he could get other superstars like Lexis King and other people, like other second generation superstars and start off the legacy 2.0. And that would kick off a 15 title reign plus his new established people around him.
Legacy 2.0.
Yeah, it could be Lexis King. It could be what's the other guy's name? William Regal's son. But you get the point. There's a couple of guys in there that are second generations right now. And you could add them to it and it would elevate them. And eventually they're gonna get called up.
I can see that.
So eventually this could make sense for the Monday Night Raw afterwards. What else we got?
Davina L44667. I think you actually know. I've never seen your comment before. Welcome to the show. We appreciate it. I always try to give the benefit of the doubt and not be a hater. But that McAfee segment did nothing but piss me off, and not in a good heel way.
It pissed me off. You're not the only one. Look, I try to be optimistic. It seems like we're always bashing WWE, but at the same time, we have the right. We're paying for the product. We pay for the subscriptions. We pay to be at these live events. We buy their merchandise, and we're the ones that keep it alive. We have a right. Everybody has a right to the criticism. Some people may like it and some people may hate it, and that is your right to do so. But at this point, I don't think you're alone though. I think most people gave that segment thumbs down. All right. That's the honest truth. I don't think it brought any value into Randy versus Cody Rhodes. And I do not think for 1 second that when people found out that McAfee was the mystery caller, it boosted up ticket sales. I don't think everybody ran out to say, hey,
Pat McAfee's here. We got to buy tickets.
If anything,
they're like, we want to resell them.
No, if anything, I feel like when Cody mentions Disco Inferno, the segment right afterwards on SmackDown when Pat McAfee came out, I feel like people rather seen Disco Inferno come out than see Pat McAfee. I feel like if Disco Inferno was the mystery caller, that actually would have boosted up a little bit more attention because Disco Inferno is an interesting guy and he's an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Frank will live forever. The Rock will be better, will be different. It's like Cody, we didn't finish the story.
Well, there's history there. There's a lot of history there and a lot of unfinished business. But the thing is this, and this goes back into Bad Blood, and I'm not talking about the pay-per-view, by the way. We're talking about actual Bad Blood between Triple H and The Rock.
Yeah.
There is some sort of beef. There's some sort of pride. And this goes, okay, so actually let's talk about this. Shawn Michaels was actually on the podcast and he was getting interviewed. He was asked about the haze and the bullying that they did on The Rock back in the day when the Clique was popular and popping and The Rock was still young coming into the business. They try to, push The Rock down several times. They try to make fun of him. They try to bully him. And then eventually The Rock fought back.
Yeah.
And at some point, and this is a big one, I think it was Triple H and maybe Shawn Michaels. But if you remember, The Rock and Austin faced off at WrestleMania 15. And originally the plan was Austin, Rock, Mankind.
Yeah.
But I guess things didn't go to that direction. But at some point, I think it was Triple H that pitched Vince, I think it's better to put Mankind versus Austin, face versus face, because The Rock is not ready for that role. Imagine that. We had WrestleMania 15, Rock versus Mankind, because The Rock's not ready for the role. That is a bunch of bullshit. Yep. The Rock was perfectly fine for that segment, and because of that, was started off really the Attitude Era afterwards. So
hell, that's what gave us the greatest trilogy in WrestleMania history.
There's a lot of bad blood there, and honestly, I do not blame The Rock. No, not even one bit. And how badass is it that in the end of the day, he couldn't beat him? At that time, he couldn't beat the Click because the Click was a little bit more powerful than him. I mean, he did make it big, but in the end of the day, he basically went over them.
He really did.
And he's making more money, and he's above both these guys now. He's above both Shawn and Triple H. And if you look at the interview, Shawn was basically trying to downplay, saying like, oh yeah, all that stuff was always blown out of proportion. You know, I love Dwayne back then. I thought he was great. I'm like, come on, Shawn, this is a bunch of horse shit. Like, come on, man. Look, I get it. You don't want to look bad and stuff, but come on, set your pride aside and just tell us the truth, man. But that's the reason why we probably won't see The Rock come out unless TKO calls him up and says, we need you for this event. It won't be because of Triple H, that's for sure. And even then, I feel like he'll fight it off to make sure he's not saving his ass.
Literally.
Because it's not looking good for Triple H.
It's not.
Nope. And it's not looking good for TKO in general. But what else we got?
Lord forbid a wrestler gets supported according while advocating for better. It's like they're making fun of us. Haha.
Yeah, honestly, it really is. They did not need Pat McAfee. They did not need no mystery caller. We had history already. We had 20 plus years for the storyline to really go off. But instead, for some reason, WWE thought it was a good idea to insert a mystery caller. You know what the funny part is? Pat McAfee said on their podcast, this was a last minute type of segment.
I can see it.
Yeah, meaning they had no original plan to someone else to be the mystery caller. They were just going to wing it. And they ended up going with Pat McAfee last minute. And now we got this shit. It did not fit well. And you can tell why. When things are not planned out the right way, this is the results.
Wow.
When you're not developing stories year long or even a couple of weeks long, this is the results. Lackluster. Fans are not invested. Online hate, which is well deserved.
Very, very well deserved.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. It really is. And if this is a way to boost up ticket sales, it didn't work. If this is a way to make us buy tickets after they were discounted today, no one else is really going to buy tickets. I feel like the fans that are already going to go already bought their tickets a couple of weeks back.
Literally.
This is not going to boost up any tickets.
You're going to go, so yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
Why it says, I just absolutely hate that they're bringing in John Cena, Pat McAfee, Little Yachty, Jelly Roll, and etc. This is no tickets. It just pisses me off.
So look, put it this way. Pat McAfee, yes. Little Yachty, yeah. Jelly Roll, I'm getting tired of him. What, especially Little Yachty. What kind of value does this guy bring? I don't even think he's relevant anymore. Jelly Roll, I could understand, but even then, his segments are getting very stale, very bad.
Okay.
John Cena as the host. That's just sad. Look, I love John Cena, and as a host, I think he's great. But the fact that you had to announce him a couple of weeks prior to the biggest show of them all, usually they add a host like a month or two ahead. Like John Cena's gonna host somebody, or I think even Dwayne. Yeah. Dwayne got announced ahead of time.
He got announced at least before or after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that he was gonna host WrestleMania. But the fact that they kind of got him, they had to bribe him. Be like, hey, Cena, we're gonna get you X amount of millions of dollars just to do one night of hosting. I think Cena's gonna turn that down? No, God's sakes, no. I don't blame them, man. But it is sad that they had to basically bribe him in order to somewhat boost ticket sales.
Which didn't help at all.
Honestly, he's not, because he's not having a match. Yeah. People are gonna see him if he has one match. Pat McAfee, nobody's gonna go out to see Pat.
No.
Nobody's running out to see Little Yachty. Nobody's damn well going for Jelly Roll. And
I probably would if I could.
I mean, Ice Speed, maybe. Just because I like Ice Speed. I really do think that's a great add. That storyline makes sense. It really does.
That was something funny. And this is what I've always been thinking since the whole like Travis Scott incident last year.
Okay.
I'm like, you guys really didn't learn. Travis Scott physically did injure Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I get it. You guys want to have your little moment for WrestleMania, but how about you guys just at least pump the brakes on this year? But it's like they didn't. They said, all right, one fuck up, let's go ahead and go all out.
But the thing is, too, not only did he injure Cody Rhodes, he promised them that he was willing to do a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And once he got through the training, he didn't want to do it anymore. He like, this is just too much. I'd rather not. And he just dipped out. And you had this guy invested in Cena's last Mania. Yeah. And that's going to be tainted. I mean, it's kind of tainted to one of the worst endings for Mania.
I mean, you were there, so you know how it was like.
Yeah, so it's like it's unfortunate that you have a guy who wasn't even invested in the product. Like, be careful who you add. Not all celebrities are that invested into wrestling. In the end of the day, they'll just walk out whenever they can. They have no obligations to be there.
That's true.
What else we got?
I don't blame Pat for stepping in and getting paid, but his attitude is insufferable. It isn't good heel work, but we are talking about it.
It's one thing to talk about it because we hate the involvement. I don't think it's good heel work.
It's not at all.
No, I think he could be a good heel, but this isn't the time.
He was a good heel for NXT.
Yeah, he was pretty good, but this isn't the time. This isn't the place. This is a story.
Nah, that's what I was about to say.
It's not a story for him to finish. It's not even a story for
him to get involved in.
Yeah, to get involved in. Period. And then he mentions like the Attitude Era. He mentions low ticket sales. He says the product sucks. Who the fuck is you to say all this? You know,
Puncher.
Yeah, it makes them look bad too. It makes WWE looks bad. It's sad.
At this point, it doesn't even do anything to him. It does everything to WWE.
It makes them look worse. It makes them look stupid.
Pat McAfee is just basically like just the sacrificial lamb. Like, Pat, go ahead and say all this stuff, and at this point, you know what, man? Just take the hit, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but he took a big hit, and
it has been.
It's unfortunate.
Gavina says, I do enjoy the speed stuff, though. It's all about execution for real.
Honestly, with speed, it is about execution. I like the way that he brought that up, and Speed is talented.
Speed is very talented.
Yeah, the man is fast. That's why they call him fast. Speed. Yeah, and you saw that jump he did over LA Knight.
Yeah,
that was pretty impressive. Yeah. But also, if you ever watch Speed's segment, his expressions
just sell it 100%.
And the way he talks, he's built for this.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and you can tell he really enjoys it. And I got no issue with Speed. I think, to me, he's a one celebrity this year. To me, he's like the Bad Bunny. You know, Bad Bunny to me, I don't know about how you guys felt, but I thought he was good. I thought he was invested in the matches. I thought he was invested into the character. He did some good work, and he helped out a lot.
He did.
Because in the end of the day, when they went to Puerto Rico, he got a great fan reaction.
It was like a freaking concert, man.
Basically. And that is the whole point. Is if it's going to bring fans invested into it, into wherever you go, why not at that point? Why not? It works. And I feel like Speed is built for it. If anything, who knows? Maybe he gets a contract in the future like Logan Paul did.
Yeah.
To join WWE. I could see it because he's getting more and more into this whole wrestling thing. What do you think?
I agree with it. I mean, at first it was just a once appearance in the Royal Rumble. And then they kind of start going from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you do see it. And he's bringing his character from the podcast. He's bringing in his character, the hypeness, the everything. Like it does work. Don't forget also when he was the prime bottle for Logan Paul against Randy Orton, he got RKO'd. That stuff. It definitely does help him getting that exposure. At this point, though, I do agree with you. I only think he should be the only celebrity, though. Everyone else should not have been added. All these storylines, all these additional stuff should not have gone through. And I feel like, honestly, it's putting a really bad taint on WrestleMania 42.
Yep. Alrighty. And let's also talk about one more thing. I don't know about you guys, but have you heard that a lot of the TNA matches, like put it this way, a lot of superstars that are facing off in other promotions against other superstars from other countries, other companies like AEW or CMLL, they're getting pulled out now. TNA is pulling out a lot of their wrestlers. They had one set for WrestleCon, and it was supposed to be Leon Slater versus Ricochet, and that would have been a banger of a match.
It would have been,
but it got pulled out because TNA is now having a second opinion about their superstars losing to set wrestlers, and that wasn't the only one. This one would have been very interesting if it happened. It would have been MJF versus Nick Nemeth, which is aka Dolph Ziggler.
That would have been a fantastic match.
I think that would have been a banger. That was set to happen at WrestleCon, but TNA is now saying that they don't want their wrestlers losing and making them look bad in the spotlight. But yet they have no issue of then going to NXT and losing there. Look, I get it. At the end of the day, I get it. When there's companies you have a good relationship with, you go with them instead. But it's also contradicting, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like we are going to get robbed from some great matches, and there's going to be more of a forbidden door into the future of wrestling.
I really hope there is.
Yeah, because that would have been a great matchup to go about. And honestly, I would have really loved to see Nick Nemeth versus
MJF,
and then match. Leon Slater versus Ricochet would have been really good.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's also going to cut out to other matches into the future that was already set up. But honestly, that's a sad state of wrestling right now. It's so much tribalism, so much companies siding with one other company for the other. Look, I get it.
They make fun of TNA for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I think was well deserved.
It was.
I think it was, because in the end of the day, you guys have no issue to job out from NXT wrestlers, making your top guys look weak.
Look at Joe Henry versus Randy Orton last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. When Joe Henry was still signed with TNA as their champion.
Literally.
So you have no issue.
As champion, I recognize as champion, and to lose in less than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense, but I get it. You know, hey, they want to be in good grace with WWE. Why kill that? But I think that's going to eventually kill the wrestling business as a whole.
I think so too.
And it's going to rob us fans from future great matches.
Or dream matches.
Dream matches indeed.
Giving not my favorite call from TNA. They aren't a big enough platform to gatekeep their talent.
That is true. They're not a big platform. They used to be somewhat, but they're trying to get themselves up there once again. I mean, so far I heard some good things from AMC and TNA so far, but I have not watched it. There's just too much promotions right now for me to watch, and it's hard to keep up. I could only watch so much of TNA when I have a chance. But I also did hear that Abyss did make a return, Spotlight with James Mitchell. So that was kind of nice to see for nostalgia pop. Abyss. We haven't seen Abyss in a long time.
That's true.
I also heard there's a big rumor, a big one, that EC3 is coming back to TNA. All right. Control your own narrative. That man himself is coming back. I would like to see him pick up that feud against Moose once again.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm honestly pumped up to see EC3 because honestly,
it's been a long time since we've seen him.
I mean,
he didn't do anything in WWE.
He didn't do nothing in WWE. They screwed him there. He's been through other promotions. I know he even created his own promotion
with Braun Strowman,
which that didn't last too long. But eventually he's back, and I'm actually excited to see that. I'm pumped up. I hope we see him by next week. If I see that man on TV, I'm actually going to tune in just for his segments, just because I feel like he has the talent. He's talented on the mic, and the guy looks fucking great. He's in great shape.
He really is.
Fucking jacked up dude. What else we got?
Frank, my bad. I was busy. Let's talk about Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. I think it's bigger than Randy versus Cody, ain't it?
Okay, SG3, let's start off with you. What's your opinion on that?
It had the potential to be it. However, Roman's lack of appearances has really hurt that feud.
But with that being said, though, do you think it's bigger than Randy versus Cody, or you think Cody and Randy's bigger?
Like I said, at this point, it had the potential. I actually see them at the same level right now because of all the addition to the Orton side. But honestly, dude, I don't like the fact of what they did with Roman versus CM Punk. Because, however, we're forgetting the fact that Roman was sending his cousins to do his dirty work for the first almost 2 weeks after. And then now you're having Punk just basically do a promo himself.
Right.
So what's going to happen on Monday before the WrestleMania? Is it going to show up? Yes or no?
Okay, that is good. That is interesting. I like how you went with that. Okay, so let me put it this way. So in my eyes, do I think it's bigger than Cody versus Randy? I'm being honest. Yes, yes, I do. And the reason why is that the whole Pat McAfee shit brought that
Really
down
did.
and kind of murdered the whole build and the feel of it, unfortunately. So right now, I do put Roman and CM Punk a little bit higher than Orton versus Randy Orton. Okay, yes, Roman not being there every week does kind of kill it. Punk did cut a good pipe bomb. It was great. One of the best, probably one of the best segments we're going to hear all year long.
Literally.
And we can say that proudly. But the thing is, he didn't do enough to build up Roman as his opponent for Mania because he went after everybody else. TKO, The Rock, Emmanuel, whatever his fucking name is. He went after a lot of people, but he did not build up Roman Reigns.
Then he went after Jimmy and Jay twice.
I get it. In the end of the day, he took too much shots. And I'm not taking away from this pipe bomb. This pipe bomb to me is still the best segment. It's still gold. The issue is he did not do a good job to build up Roman Reigns as an opponent at WrestleMania. That's why this to me is not on the level between The Rock and Austin at 17. It's not Hogan and The Rock.
No.
It's not even
hell. It's not even Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14.
It's not even Taker versus Shawn. Let's name a couple of main events. Caliber. It's not even Cena versus The Rock. It doesn't feel like your main event. That's the unfortunate part. It's not like in a couple of years. I don't feel like we're gonna go back and say
that was one of the best main events I've ever seen the build up for, or even the build up or even just the match itself.
Yeah, the build up was great. Or hey guys, you remember Punk versus Roman Reigns? Or you know what I mean? It's just like nobody. I don't feel like anybody's excited for this.
I would say, you know what? For me personally, main event wise, the match was good. However, I feel like again, I didn't see it, so I don't know how much of the build up it was. But Psycho Sid versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 13. I feel like it wasn't the best. Mm-hmm. It was mid. And both of these main events are way the hell underneath it.
I don't know. I feel like storyline wise, I'll agree with you. But I feel like the only thing that keeps this matches going is that I'm gonna tell you one thing. To me, all four men are great wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orton, great wrestler. Cody, a great wrestler. Roman's a great wrestler, despite what people want to say. I think he's a great wrestler.
For his time off, yes.
CM Punk, great wrestler. So I just feel like storyline-wise, when you're on the main event, every year is a memorable main event, except for Roman versus Brock, but we're not going to get into that.
And Cena versus Cody last year.
So you have some bad ones. I feel like this is one of those set it and forget it type of thing.
Be bad. Both of them.
I don't know if it's going to be bad, bro. Honestly, I think the wrestling is going to be good. I think we're going to get some top-notch wrestling, but when it comes to the ending, I don't think fans are going to be invested towards the ending as we should be in every year's WrestleMania. That's my whole issue, is that I think the wrestling itself, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think the ending is going to be like, that's it. All right. On to next year, you know? Well, we'll see.
A lot of people don't have that mentality, and I'm one of those people. I'm like, all right, on to next year.
That's the thing.
Because there is no spice to it. Again, I've said this before, and this is before you actually told everyone that you're gonna go to WrestleMania. I told you, I'm like, dude, personally, maybe because I'm not a kid, I don't know. But even when I didn't really watch wrestling as like royally as I do now for a few years, I would always remember Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I would always remember, and I was always hooked to watch it during that time. This year, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, it hasn't done it for me. I don't know what it is, dude. It's just like, and I try to ask anyone, does anyone else feel this way? Chat, please let us know. And this is just me. I don't feel that this WrestleMania this year is doing enough to really like make me want to sit there and say, I'm invested. I want to go crazy. Yeah. Last year, even with the build-up, even with the whole Cena turn, I was like, dude, I'm actually invested in some of these matches. This year, I'm like, I could see a few that I'm like, man, for, But like in reality, there is no spice in the air. There is no electricity. I'm not getting goosebumps right now. Like I watch videos even from next year. I'm like, dude, I remember I still got goosebumps. I show my girl, I'm like, babe, you can see the goosebumps. She's like, yeah. She's like, what about this? I'm like, just one match really gives me the goosebumps. Oba versus Brock.
But even then, I just don't feel like it gives us.
It doesn't, no.
Like I just feel like there's something missing now, and I get what you're saying. I just feel like this. It's just like you said. There's seasoning missing. It's just there's not enough chef really cooking up anymore.
Mm-mm.
You always have that saying, "Let Papa H cook," but the man's been cooking and he hasn't been coming up with much lately. So how long do you let this man cook in order for us to get something good? And I mean, to me, one of the best matches that could have happened would have been Io versus Asuka. And we're not going to get that. There's reports that may actually come at Backlash, which is like, great. You're going to your B show and having probably one of the best matches and best feuds that you could possibly have for a WrestleMania main event into your Backlash. For God's sakes, that should better be Backlash main event at least.
At least, or co-main event.
No, main event. Ain't no co-main event.
This because you know what the main event's going to be.
What?
Pat McAfee and Randy Orton versus Jelly.
Now that could open up the show. It doesn't matter.
I hope it does, but
that's going to open up the show. I want Io and Asuka, if that's the case, to close out Backlash at that point because there should be nothing else. That should be the hottest angle going to WrestleMania. There's a lot of storyline,
so much history, so much everything,
and it's two great wrestlers, talented.
Honestly.
All righty, what else we got?
We got a lot of comments we got to catch up on. Hold on. Gavina, they can't plug indie names like Ricky Sosa and Cardona and make that decision. LOL.
So, here's the thing. I was actually watching Trick William versus Cardona. Despite the whole distraction with Sami Zayn kicking the shit out of Yachty, which I thought it was funny.
That's funny.
Even though the crowd didn't pop, I thought that shit was funny. Despite that, I kind of feel sad for Cardona because right away with the distraction, you thought Cardona was going to pick up a win.
No,
he didn't. Trick just beat him easily. I feel bad for him, man. Honestly, I don't know. This is what he wanted to be closer to wife.
Wants to be from the indie god to the mid card god.
Not even mid card.
Lower mid card god.
Low mid card to jobber.
Yeah,
the jobber status at this point. Him and what's the other guy's name in catering that's always shown with them? I forgot his name. At this point, they should just start up the Job Squad 2.0.
Literally.
Yeah, they should get Al Snow's blessing, and at this point, just make a joke out of it. I'm sure he'll be into it if you really give him the character.
He's got the money for it. Frank, yo guys, don't forget to like and sub up. Thanks, man. Appreciate
it. Yeah, look, guys, subscribe. It means a lot to us. As well as check out Wise Wrestling. He does a lot of great content. I collab with the man. He's a good brother. Like I said, guys, in this platform, hey, speak out your opinions. We don't care. We're gonna argue sometimes. We're gonna disagree, but at the end of the day, it's all respect. It's all love to everybody.
Literally.
So, hey, any comments?
Welcome
anything.
Love, hate, doesn't matter. We welcome it.
And it doesn't even have to be about this topic. It could be about anything.
Literally. If you don't like my voice because I have a funny lisp, go ahead and make fun of it. It's fine.
I don't even like his face, but we'll make an session. But anyways, go ahead.
That's why you don't want to show your eyes. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm going to knock out an amazing stream. Like always, appreciate you guys. You all have a great night. Good night, Wyatt. Good night, Wyatt. Gavina, I agree 100%. The new pie bomb was cool. However, McAfee made it seem way more scripted and manufactured than it did on Monday.
Exactly.
It keeps coming back to Pat. I'm sorry. LOL.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, I don't know if y'all heard of The Rock is getting weight for his new upcoming movie, Moana. He became huge. What if it's like an Easter egg and that he will return to WrestleMania 42 and interfere with Roman versus CM Punk?
So I saw that. Yeah, that Moana movie is live action. So he did get big. He did get really big.
I thought it wore a suit though for that.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was a suit. So Frank, if it wasn't a suit, if he actually did get jacked, that's something.
Because I remember seeing like the beginning, like you could like see the suit like neck, like you can see the difference between his body and the actual suit.
I had to check that out because honestly, I
had to check it out because
I heard of it. I heard the movie, but I don't really watch those type of movies as much. Like I used to back in the day. So regardless, I'm probably gonna have to look into that. pretty soon because obviously we're pretty close to WrestleMania, and we're gonna have to get back to you on that. Would it be interesting for him? Yes. Now, here's the thing: if you look at Punk's promos and you look at Roman's promos, and he had to help somebody. If The Rock did come back, interfered, who would he help at this point? Who do you think he's backing up? Do you think he backs up his cousin, or do you think he backs up somehow, some way CM Punk, and why?
Only because of the comment Punk made, I can see him going for his cousin.
I see him going against Roman, and that's because obviously, if you look a couple of years back, and we're gonna throw Easter eggs,
yeah,
Bad Blood, where he came out, he went to 3 and he cut his throat, and Roman was involved to that one.
Yeah,
he wants to cut off his cousin for joining alliance with Cody Rhodes, you know, a while back. And then the comments that Punk's made saying, I have so much money, I don't care. He keeps mentioning about his money.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of odd for Punk as a face to do. Now, I get it. That was a face pipe bomb. But the fact that you bring up money, like, I got so much money, I don't care.
When he left. Yeah.
So
actually, it's funny, but Mika said that she smells a heel Punk coming soon, and I can see it, brother, as a promo.
Well, take a look when he first came back to WWE on Monday Night Raw in Nashville. He did say, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So he keeps mentioning money to this day. That tells you he could finally sell his fucking soul and become the corporate. He's no longer the Punk. He's corporate. He's CM corporate, whatever you want to call it.
Corporate CM.
Yeah. In the end of the day, it makes a little bit more sense that he did the whole rebellion against the system to the point where it's like, I can't beat him. I might as well join him. I might as well get the longevity. And I feel like if Punk went full heel on this,
that'd be awesome.
We'll get some of the best character works from him in a long time, and he doesn't have to wrestle. That is the great part, is that the man is old. The man does get gassed out, unfortunately, but he won't have to wrestle. He would just cut pipe bombs after pipe bombs. But on the fans, on the wrestlers, this would be great TV. But I don't know. That's just fantasy booking. I don't think it's going to happen, though, unfortunately. I will love to see it. But The Rock coming back to me at this Mania seems far-fetched. I do believe that The Rock could come back the Monday night after WrestleMania. I can see it, and then set up a match for next year's Mania, since it's supposed to be in Saudi and they're supposed to throw that Saudi money down his way to face off his cousin.
I can see it.
What else we got?
Yeah, it just feels random, but hold on. Sorry, facts. What if this time The Rock helps Punk? I don't know. Maybe he'll help Roman Reigns. I don't know. We just talked about it. Gavina, yeah, it just feels random, but it definitely has been worse. This is just mostly boring at worst.
Yeah, it really is.
Frank, no, he's right. This year, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, there is no momentum at all. No hype, no nothing. He's right.
Well, yeah, because in the end of the day, it's just the lacklusterness. And then not only that, but think about it. You're charging fans $29.99 for these new pay-per-views, and they're lackluster. Not only that, but I've been complaining for the longest time. You're only giving us 4 to 5 matches on these PLEs. 4 matches, really. I've noticed it's only been 4 matches.
It has been.
Yeah. Is anyone excited for 4 fucking matches? WrestleMania, I'm surprised they're giving us a lot. I really am. But I also think this is because they realize they fucked up. They realize they have nothing. So right now they're trying to give us more to confiscate for the shit product they've been giving us out lately. But after this Mania, we're going to go back to 4 matches on every PLE. Backlash, 4 matches. Be happy with it. But how many segments and how many commercials do we get between?
3 hours.
Yeah. So it's a 3-hour show with 4 matches spread apart with commercial, ads, and segments. Yay.
Naturally.
That is the issue too. More money, less matches, and
more expensive
and more money out of our pockets. What else we got?
Another one. Hold on. I just think this Wii versus TKO story could have been very well done and thought out if it wasn't rushed out 2 weeks before Mania.
I agree. If it was given some time and they actually thought about it, this could have been a really good storyline to head in. And here's the thing. it's nice that Punk cut into Cody's segment, and now we're having Cody, Punk, and McAfee and Randy Orton and even Roman all attached in one segment. You get what I'm saying? They're connected now. That would have been cool if you gave us some time to simmer, but not rush everything all the way right now. We got robbed a little bit right there for what if.
Here's what it is, though. The rumor I heard and the rumor I've been reading was the fact that WWE actually let Punk go off script with everything because they're pissed about the whole Pat McAfee thing. Damian Priest himself said not a lot of people are too happy with Pat McAfee coming in because of the way he talks, the way his attitude is, everything. They said it's a very bad ad to WrestleMania 42.
So what happened with that is that you're right, but they did give some. They didn't let Punk fully cut a promo. They gave him bulletin points.
Yeah,
they told him, here, we want you to talk about this and that, and then afterwards freestyle, have fun.
And I just think the fact that they're just mad right now. So I can see the fact that like this whole we versus TKO thing is a WWE thing because WWE is like, look, we're now frustrated for what you're actually making us do when we're trying to make this show better than it was last year. So maybe this whole Pat McAfee insertion was a TKO move along with all the celebrities that are coming in.
I don't know, man. Look, it's hard for me to believe that somehow TKO is allowing this just because how WWE does things where they're on each other's mic constantly. I would still think it would get cut out somehow, some way. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think some of it is real. Some of it, it's like the whole Jay Cargill and Rhea Ripley. I think that was real to an extent, but it wasn't fully real. I feel like they were more just bite into the whole heat and then eventually letting it simmer, but it led to nothing. This is basically that's what it was. It's just basically let them burn, let them go at each other. Because I'm sure there is people complaining about it. So let it go all out there. It just makes sense.
But what have they done though? What have they talked about? If you think about their whole promo on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays, what was the promo about? They were talked about like what one is and what the other one is, and then you get to the actual ring to start like talking about the WrestleMania match. You're gonna talk about your body, about how you're strong, I'm strong. It's like, where the fuck did this come from? Why isn't it better? You know what? You are Rhea Hogan and you are Jade can't wrestle to save her life, Cargo.
Because I like once I said, like I don't think it was really a real thing.
It wasn't. I mean, there was a sprinkle, but there wasn't much more, and they should have literally just kept it with that instead of just let's just talk about how amazing our bodies are. Well, really? That's your promo. That's your sell.
The same thing goes for this whole segment. I think there is some animosity, but I don't think it's as big as we think it is. Because in the end of the day, if you look at the whole segment, they're trying to sell you tickets to sell out to the event. Yeah. So now they're letting loose. And guess who keeps getting mentioned? Vince McMahon. Yeah. We're getting reference of Vince McMahon. Because at this point, they realize, one, I'm saying this now, Vince is not going to return. Look, if he does return at Mania, I'll be surprised. But he's not going to return to Mania. I highly doubt it. But they keep mentioning his name because they want people to build up the hype that, hey, there's a possibility this man could return. You never know. They brought out Stephanie McMahon out of nowhere for the whole Cody Rhodes. They're trying to sell you tickets. What's next? Let's cut loose. Let's just, what's it called? Break the fourth wall. Let's go after TKO and make it a TKO versus WWE thing. Let's build that inner world right now. I just feel like they're very desperate right now. They're trying to do a lot of things right now just to sell off a little bit more tickets.
They're making more of a clusterfuck than was already a clusterfuck.
It really does, and they should have built it up, like he said, give it a little bit more time to build up, and it could have been great. Really could have been. What else we got?
Okay, a lot of things. Makes sense. Savage, that really makes sense about making money, and CM Punk. Saudi's a whole other deal right now. Laughing my ass off. Being for real, man. But it would be a huge shock if The Rock helps Punk and betrays the family. Come on, Roman Reigns, the Uso solo, the entire Samoans, and the WWE.
Yeah, it would have. So if The Rock does help Punk, it would betray that. But in the end of the day, The Rock, Punk, and all of them are there for money.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to make storylines. So put it this way.
I mean,
The
that
Rock.
could be the storyline because that is the family tree.
Well, put it this way: in the end of the day, they're all about money. Punk is here for the money. The Rock is here for the money. In the end of the day, The Rock could betray the Samoans, and the Samoans line themselves with Roman Reigns, or maybe they don't, because we're forgetting that Jay has been showing a lot of signs of him becoming heelish finally, and that's not going to be finished. So, in the end of the day, I do predict that if The Rock did come back and then align himself with Punk, I think Jay would be the next tribal chief, I guess, in their sense. So it'll be Jay, Jimmy, and then we'll have the issues against Roman by himself, actually. Because the NFTs are not going away anytime soon.
No.
And I don't think they're going to bring out any other Samoans. I highly doubt Silva 2 is coming into WWE ever. So I think it might just be Roman. Yeah, I think Roman's going to be beefing with The Rock and the Usos.
Yeah.
He's going to lose everything.
Literally.
So the High and Mighty is no longer going to be up, because if you notice, they're attacking them, saying, Punk is attacking them constantly, saying, you don't have your cousins, you don't have this,
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have help. He's not going to have anything. He's going to go back down, down, down. It's going to make a great storyline building into the next year's WrestleMania. So there's potential there, but I don't know. There's just a lot to say. It may not just happen, none of it.
Gavina, y'all takes our spot on. Really enjoying the back and forth here. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Like I said, man, we try to answer the questions and try to put a lot of thoughtfulness to it. Any questions, like I said, man, you guys could always ask away. We could always 100%. Disagree. Hey, disagree always makes it a fun show, because in the end, we get a lot of different opinions.
But just to make sure this Triple H is the one who's responsible for making scripts and so on, because he's running out of ideas. LOL.
That's the thing. In the end of the day, it is Triple H. Yes. Pat McAfee's thing could have been I 100% think it was a TKO thing. But at the same time, the rest of SmackDown, who does the scripts? Who okays everything?
Yeah.
Who's the Vince McMahon of this era that okays every single thing? It's Papa H. At the end of the day, this man is the reason why this product is shit right now. And I don't know, man. If things look this bad, you never know. They might get rid of this man.
I feel like I haven't been saying it for a while. If they're going to let him go.
You said that last year. They're going to let him go.
Well, yes, I'm still saying the same thing.
So you're going to say it every year until they let him go.
Until they finally let him go, damn it.
I'm going to talk about it for 5 years and they let him go.
6 years later, they finally let him go.
I said it 10 years ago.
I said, you know what?
You said it every year. Regardless, but look, this is why he's. So if you notice, this is why he adds himself on every poster, on every segment, on every big commercial. Because he wants to be the face of WWE. God's sakes, to the new game. He adds himself to everything because he wants to be the face of WWE, because he wants people to say Triple H and WWE are just one. That's why he does it, because he's trying to save his job in a way. Because at that point, it makes it harder for them to fire him, because it's like Vince and WWE at the time. They were 1-1.
But Vince wasn't that much of an egotist.
He wasn't, actually. No.
He only had one game where he was on the cover. Everything else was everybody else.
And not only that, but he was never on all the commercials.
No, he was not.
And he was never on all the posters. He was on some, but not all the posters. No. And when he was on the poster, let me tell you something. When he was on a poster, he was getting jumped. He was getting attacked. He was bleeding. At the end of the day, he was willing to make himself foolish. Triple H does not want to look bad. He doesn't want to look weak. He got photoshopped in a video game, for God's sakes, this year. It's just a lot of egotistic thing. That's why it's hard to defend the man. I like his era in the black and gold back in the day. I thought it was great. I love black and gold NXT. And I thought, great, and I thought Triple H did some good shit in there. But that did not translate into a 3-hour Raw. 2.5-hour Raw and a 3-hour SmackDown. You're doing more work now, and it shows that he cannot handle the role.
That's true.
Yeah, and it could also be TKO's fault. I'm not saying that they're not also at fault, but at some point, one of these guys have to step up and say, all right, we got to change shit.
We have to make a difference.
But they don't want to.
Okay, so a couple more comments. Absolutely. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, where are you? Frank.
Nobody wants to see Vince.
Hold on. Gavina, I think at this point, Triple H has been made to think he has control, but he's more of a face now. For the company, not character-wise, having my ass off.
Well, do you think that he's a face now?
I think honestly, no. what Gavin is saying is the fact that he's made to think that he's the face. And you kind of just said it, and you're right. If you think about it, he's literally inserting himself into everything. He's got to do something like with posters, with titles, with everything. Unreal. Like, again, I get it. When he walks in, the camera's got to be just on him and it's got to cut him at a right angle. When he sits down, the camera's got to look right at him and it's got to pan out, but it's got to still be the center of him. But it's like, I see that. And it's like, dude, you're not that, you're not who you used to be. And at this point, that's why, again, I think Avina, you are completely 100% correct, where he thinks he has to be the face of WWE now.
True. Let me ask you a question then for everybody, including you. If they get rid of Triple H, would you guys consider that a bad thing? Or do you guys consider it's time to just move on at this point and let's just find someone else? Be honest. Like, I mean, I'm gonna give him his credits. Yes, he was a good heel. He did some good work in NXT. He does have a smart mind for the business. That I'm not gonna deny. But lately, none of that's been going on. I mean, yes, he had a good WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40 could be argued as one of the best WrestleManias in
But
years.
Vince's fingerprints were already all over that.
That's the issue too. So with the Bloodline segment was started with Vince, and a lot of it from 39 was actually Vince. So he went on to Cody Rhodes' podcast, and he did say that his official Mania started at WrestleMania 40, not 39. It was 40. But guess what? A lot of 39 segments rolled over to 40.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was there for him to have the best WrestleMania as tools. But right afterwards, he gave us one of the worst WrestleManias ever. So would you guys think it's time for WWE to move on for them if that was the case? Or would you guys kind of feel the type of way? Are you guys just mixed?
I honestly think it is probably time for him to go, or for him to get a co-creative or co-head of creative. Because so far, and again, like I said, 39 was Vince. 40 was Vince. I don't fucking care what he says. It was Vince because almost half of the stuff that came over was Vince from WrestleMania 39. And the stuff that he added, a lot of people complained about it. We just didn't pay attention because we were so caught up in that last match. 41 happened. No one has said it was a great WrestleMania. You were there live. Even you yourself had said it just felt different.
Alcohol could not save me from enjoying that Mania. That's for sure.
And now we're complaining about 42. So at this point, it's like either you get yourself a better somebody for co-creative, or at this point, Papa H has got to go.
Papa H got to go, or he has to step down and do some other role. Honestly, I would rather see him as a figure on TV, like a role, like a heel authority,
like what he was before. And I feel like there he is. And again, it's like I feel like he's just so up there, like he's got ego, high and mighty. It's just like, dude, how about you just humble yourself for just a hot second?
Oh, so great thing you brought this up. So you heard the leaks of Vince McMahon, right? The whole that he was still in WWE even at WrestleMania 39 when he was supposed to be out. So you heard the leaks with Triple H and TKO texting back and forth that says they ask him, Triple H, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing great. I'm just waiting for D-Day tomorrow because Vince was supposed to be back. So you could tell that he does have an ego because he wants to prove that he's better than his father-in-law. That, yes, his time was up already. And like the song goes, yeah, you know, my time is now would be John Cena's song. It wouldn't fit Triple H. But regardless, he's trying to prove that he's more better than Vince, but he's just not. Look, and I'm not saying Vince was any better either, dude. Vince's last years was clusterfuck. But Vince did have some great fucking years. That's the thing. Really, he did have some smart fucking years. But we can't really say that about Triple H yet.
We haven't.
Yeah.
He's taken over since, again, 39. Leading to 40, he didn't have some of the best events.
I'll give him this. And I'll give him this. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go for it.
I'll give him from the Rumble, from that years of 40, from the Rumble all the way to June.
Yeah.
He gave us some great stuff. Some really
we were really excited for that stuff. I remember because we watched it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say he gave us some great shit and some memorable shit and some stuff that got us fans back invested and excited to watch it week by week. And then it just went slowly back down, and the prices went skyrocket. And that's honestly, I don't know, man. That's all I can say about that. What else we got?
Okay, for the company. Okay, if BKM comes back in his old age, I'm turning it off. I'm sorry, Kavina, Frank. But is Jay fit to become tribal chief? I mean, I know he's a former champ, but is he going to be a tribal chief?
SG3 would disagree that he'll be a good tribal chief. If he stops the fucking drinking and gets himself in shape.
The problem is, though, Jay is not gonna get in shape. Jay is who Jay is. Jay, and if you look at it, it's hereditary. Jay's father is Rikishi. Rikishi, unfortunately, was always just like the bigger wrestler, and you can tell that Jay still has like that kind of build. However, I think it's because also of his diet. He's even said, dude, I'm not here to eat healthy. I'm not a broccoli kind of person. I'm not a protein kind of person. I'm a triple waffle from Waffle House kind of person.
He just drinks a lot too.
And that too.
It's really the alcohol. So put it this way. Alcohol, look, if you look at Jimmy and Jay's matches back in the day, they were really good, very high stamina, both men. They issues with alcohol, but I think Jimmy was the one that cleaned himself well. Mm-hmm. Jay is the one more crazy, and you could tell by his physique that he is it's the alcohol. It's just the alcohol. It really is that. And I don't think it's genetics, bro. I don't think I get what you're saying, but I really do think it's the alcohol that plays a factor because we have seen him drunk on TV
multiple times.
Yeah, and then he has gotten DUIs before. I'm sure he has. I think that was him.
DUI.
Yeah, both of them, and I know that was him, one of them. But you can still tell that he suffers from it, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And unless he stops it, he could be the tribal chief. But if he's gonna gas out during the matches, it's hard to really say
really
that.
Hard.
Yeah.
So next comment. If TKO is making scripts and the ratings are going down, why WWE doesn't leave TKO? I mean, TKO is dragging WWE down like rock bottom because TKO bought out WWE. They cannot leave until they're bought out.
So you got a good point there. But TKO could always sell it. There's always the rumors that they want to sell it to the Saudis. I don't know if that's really true, but then again, I wouldn't doubt that the Saudis would want to buy WWE from TKO. I could see that. But at the same time, you got them, you got to go down with them because TKO invested a lot of money and they're in debt right now because of them. So that's why they also raise up the ticket prices because they're trying to screw us fans for their mistakes and investing into a product they had no idea about.
It's again, like I said, and I'll say it again. They thought it could be the same thing as UFC.
It wasn't.
No, it is not the same thing as UFC. It's completely different. I am a fan of UFC, and you can hype up right now the fights that are going to happen. Later on, keep building it forward. But this is a week-to-week, hour-by-hour kind of program. You cannot just sit here and say, we're going to give you John Cena versus Randy Orton and expect fans to be sold to it. There is a story. There is a meaning. There is a desire. There is an emotion that we need to have. You're not giving us that at all. And us diehard fans, when we're not seeing it, it's like we're just turning it off because we're not invested into the product anymore. But that's just me. Anything you want on that one?
Actually, you hit that spot on, bro.
Gavina, weekly shows should be hour and a half max. That's my hot take.
Weekly shows should be an hour and a half max. I would agree. Or 2 hours.
I would say 2 hours. I would say 2 hours was that sweet. It's always been like that sweet spot.
Well, look, man. Back in the day, I would say 2 hours. This current product, I'm actually probably
hour and a half.
Yeah, I think he's right. An hour and a half because it cuts down commercials, and maybe it'll speed up the production. It'll make things go faster. Like, hey guys, we guys go wrestle now. All right, segments real quick. Cut segments short. So some segments a little bit, and they don't bring anything. So it cuts a little bit of the fat. So cut the fat out. It'll speed up the process, and it could be a little bit better show.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in these 3 hour SmackDowns, does anybody really watch them fully?
No.
We're doing something else in the background. Same thing goes in Raw. So in this day and age and this route to WWE, I actually agree with that. An hour and a half does seem like a sweet spot now. What else we got?
Triple H, I don't think he's face. He's with what's best for business. If it's effective for the business, he'll agree.
Best for business, my ass. Yeah,
I kind of have to agree with him on that. I don't think I think it's just best for his ego. That's me personally.
But yeah, and I could get his whole best for business because he's gonna side for TKO because they write his checks. But for how long at this point? Like if the rumors are true that they want him out eventually, if things go worse and worse. I don't know, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just keep him there forever.
I mean, at this point, I can see Frank's point where it's like, look, we're gonna keep Triple H, but the only reason why is because he's the one taking the heat, not us. That's the only thing. It's just a scapegoat. That's the only reason I can see it. But at the end of the day, we're still seeing the fact that Triple H is the one that's being blamed for everything. So that's why.
Oh yeah.
Gavina, man, I don't know who'd replace him. Abyss books great matches, but how to creative, I don't know. And I agree with you.
He's not that. I mean, Abyss is good, but
is not like
I don't see anything coming out great from him lately. It's just
no.
We see him in Unreal, and it's just I don't know, man. I just don't know what's going on. And that's the thing. We have so much talented roster.
We really do.
We don't need to build future stars. We have stars already. And unfortunately, they keep getting pushed down the card. We have great superstars, and yet I don't understand why we can't have Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes one-on-one at WrestleMania. Is it because they're going to steal the spotlight of other matches?
I guess.
That's a good match in itself. We didn't have to add Sami Zayn into the mix-up. He's not getting the crowd reaction anymore. He's not getting cheered like he used to. And that's sad for Sami Zayn.
It's because, again, a lot of people have started figuring out the fact that it's like this is becoming way too predictable now.
It is.
And before there was a little spice of like, ooh, maybe. Maybe. Now it's like, yeah, this is going to happen. And yet it's like, it just gets boring like that after that.
It does.
I'm just excited for WrestleMania that John Cena is a host. This guy sometimes has surprises behind him.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting take. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's gonna be fun with seeing him as host. I want to see actually how the fans are gonna react to him. And I can't wait to see exactly what's gonna happen. Maybe he tries to even become number 2. That's gonna be host for night 2.
So Stratton
is second in Rumble and Elimination Chamber yet. Try if it gets airtime. Mania.
I mean, what is Stratton gonna do? That's a good question too. Like you mentioned earlier, she was a champion last year.
Both her and Io, and they got pushed to what? That's what my thing is like.
Assistance of a match.
Probably not even that. Just don't even show up, and you're gonna push you to Backlash.
Well, we're talking about Io.
About Io and Tiffany.
I think Io will be inserted in the Jade Cargill match, but I think Stratton might just miss it completely.
I think so too. And at this point, it's like, dang, that really does suck. It really does suck.
Yeah, because at this point,
and Tiffany's not a bad wrestler. She's actually a really good wrestler, but unfortunately, it's just due to the fact of like,
she's a good wrestler, but
I don't know about that one.
I think her promo skills could do.
It could just a smidge better.
A lot better. Yeah, I mean, Tiffy Time's a catchphrase, but like when it comes to cut down promos, it got to go a little bit more.
I think ever since she went off script with the Charlotte one, she's really held back.
Well, because she got in trouble for that.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm saying. I think she's just really held back after that one. Since it's sad for Sammy, I think it's time to become heel. He's gonna become a heel. The way he's acting, he's gonna become a heel. And unfortunately, it's just another sauce. It's just another recipe for disaster because here's what's going to happen. He's going to be a heel probably WrestleMania till maybe about a little bit after SummerSlam in order for him to come back, win the Royal Rumble, and then get everyone to cheer him on again because they're happy the fact that Sammy's now face and is going to become champion.
Yeah, I agree. He has to become heel to save himself because at this point, there's no crowd investment in him. His character is really stale. And it's like, to me, this reminds me of Bayley. Remember Bayley's hugger character? She was getting booed. Yeah. She was getting boring chants. And it was boring. It was the whole, I'm happy to be here. I love you guys. And it got boring. And then what happened? She popped them balloons, turned heel, brought some fucking spark into her characters, eventually became one of the best heels in a long time.
Literally.
And then became back to a face and still getting loved by a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like she's now more underrated now than she was before.
I just feel at this point, if you're gonna do the whole thing with Sammy, and let's put you're gonna push him to the moon in 2027, it's gonna be too soon for him to go from face from whatever the heck he is right now to heel to face. Because it's like there's again, you're almost having a John Cena moment without having John Cena in the freaking story.
Exactly.
It sucks.
It could be one of the big segments. This could have. See, here's the thing.
This could have been perfect. Sorry, keep going.
This would have been perfect to be added at WrestleMania. Him as a heel going
Yes.
against Carmelo Hayes or somebody, but instead WWE drops the ball once again.
Okay. I went to Gavina. I went to NXT Vengeance Day in 2023. The difference between the way these guys were booked in NXT compared to the main roster is wild.
It is, yes. Yes, it is actually. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy to see a whole different style right now in NXT back then compared to now in the main event of WWE right now. What do you think?
Didn't we go in 2016? When did we go?
I don't remember. It was been a while back.
It's been a while, but
2018, I think it was.
Yeah, but even then though, like you can see the difference between them at NXT level and then you saw them in the main roster. And it's like even then, even now, with the guy who actually helped build up NXT, he's kind of forgotten about his product.
Yeah.
It's like once NXT comes, it's like they're automatic just gonna be either jobbers or mid carders and just stay there. Unless they have a specific look.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch too much NXT like I used to. Maybe if you guys watch NXT, let me know if the product's as good as he is. I watched some last week because I was on in a White's live stream, and it was okay. It wasn't bad, but I hear a lot of mixed opinions about NXT now. Is it better than what it was back then? Is it still the same, or do you guys think the product's kind of also
falling down
a little bit?
It would all be Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, it would be Shawn Michaels at this point. But I hear it's always like mixed opinion that it's great. It's good. Like it's still comparable to the old stuff, or it just is kind of ass. I don't know. I don't watch it as much. I don't want to comment on this too much. But I do remember old NXT was great. Old NXT, I watched until 2022. I even watched NXT 2.0. I thought that was good. I did like Mandy Rose's whole segment. I thought she did some great work there until she had to leave, obviously. So I was there for quite a while, but I don't know. I just fell off after 2.0 because I thought it was just too much to watch because you had this TNA, AEW, WWE. There's only so much wrestling the man does. If I didn't have to work, I would get myself invested into everything.
Literally.
Yeah, but unfortunately we got jobs and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, just let us know.
Last but not least, also paid $80 a ticket, $80 a seat for floor seats at this stage. We have fallen so far. Yes, we have.
Also paid. Okay, yeah, you're right. So yes, the thing, dude. Yeah, we're right. We used to pay very cheap for floor tickets and stuff, and now we're paying a fortune just to sit in the back. We're paying $80 to sit on the nosebleeds now.
That's if you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a big PLE, good luck.
Yeah.
Even
hell, look at Chicago when it came to Elimination Chamber. Some of the tickets were going for $200 nosebleeds.
You're still on that whole Chicago thing?
Hell yeah, man.
Always on, man. Look at Chicago. Bro, you did not go. Let it go. You're not going to go back.
Breaks my heart, man.
Nobody cares. But regardless, yes, look at WrestleMania, for God's sakes. It's ridiculous what they're charging to be front row. I'm guessing it's in the tens, the $10,000. I don't want to look into it, but I'm sure it is because last year you did get the reaction where the fans told Randy Orton how much they paid in total for their seats for WrestleMania, and they said about 40 grand. Even Randy Orton couldn't contain himself and reacted like he's like, damn, it's a lot of money. that's sad, dude. That your top wrestler could not contain himself from a reaction like that. What do you put?
I think NXT talent pool isn't too hot right now. They're super green besides like Ethan Page and Ricky Starks.
So yeah. So that's the thing. It's just like it feels like it's not as talented like it used to be. Because I've seen some of the wrestlers and I'm just kind of like there's potential, but you don't have hot names in there like you used to. I mean, I'm excited for Blake Monroe if she ever does come to the main event scene. Ricky Starks, yes. Ethan Page, yes. But I don't see them coming out this year. I
No,
don't think they're gonna come out the Monday night after Raw. And if they are, I'll be
maybe
shocked.
maybe next year.
What if they come out as Seth Rollins' new lackeys? I don't know at this
I,
point.
uh,
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for your opinion on that. Because
Thank you.
honestly, I don't watch too much NXT. I want to. And maybe if I have more time in the future, I'll watch a couple of episodes here and there, like every other week, just to get myself somewhat invested in these characters, which I should actually. But look, guys, this has been fun. Awesome. We appreciate all the comments tonight. Please do us a favor, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It lets you know when we go live. We do these type of shows, and sometimes I gameplay, and we might do Dynasty shows that day because I still have to plan for my Vegas trip for WrestleMania. But regardless, guys, you know for sure we're gonna be back live after Monday Night Raw. So, like I said, hit the notification bell. Come see us then. But you guys have yourself a great night. Dig it.